turn the camera on. There we go. Tonight, this is part 2. And we had started. What I'm going to do is get the rest of my pages in. The camera on. And let me turn this off. Okay. The thing to remember is I'm not doing the matting, but there's the walkthrough on YouTube, so you can go back through the walkthrough, and I'll go through, some of the matting with you. And still can't watch on Facebook. I don't know. I'm on Facebook. Sometimes you have to refresh, Cheryl. Things like this, if you want, I can do that, but here's what's happening is next week is our retreat here in Utah. And so we're getting ready for it. But I wanted to get our pages and flaps done today. Then next week, there are no lives except for I'll go live coming from the retreat because I know I want to show you guys what goes on. Then the following week, I can go live again and we can finish up. We can create the cover or you can work ahead and then you will, if you don't mind waiting. So that would be the only thing. I got my pages done. Remember, I mentioned to you that I was going to have them done and ready to put in. So if you aren't familiar, hi, RJ, long time no see. Thanks for joining us. If you have not put your pages in like this, then I will be doing it with you so that we can, whoops, as I throw things across my desk, so that we can put them in together. I'm just going to go over my hinges because they have been sitting since we were live Thursday. Hi, Marina. Hi, Tomalee. Hi, everyone that's joining us. Okay, that's from Wilbur. I have not been beaten. He got me with his front paws when we were playing with the rope. And if you need to go, hi, Linda, if you need to go back, the part 1 is on my YouTube, and I guess I didn't prepare too well tonight. I've got so many dings going on. We do have work going on in the background, so you might hear some of that. And we'll try and make it so that there's no crazy sounds. And I did mention I show how to do the whole thing. So if you wanted to go ahead and work, now I'm going to do this part with you. So I want to get my adhesive out. Just like I did on the first one, I'm going to butt my page up to the hinge. I'm going to make sure it's even with the page underneath. Oh. And I'm going to, I'm sorry, I should have gotten just everything totally turned off and I did not. I don't know. I thought I was so well prepared, right? There we go. Now you won't hear any dings. So I'm going to just add my adhesive right here at the edge of my black cardstock. You know, that bottle doesn't like to sit very well. Hi, Tanya. And again, I just want to make sure my pages match. And I'm going to furnish that onto there. Take your time. You don't want, the glue will catch pretty fast. Oh, sometimes. We're getting a little bit of cold weather today. Wow. My bottle is pretty cold. It dropped down to like, I don't know, 50 something here in Utah. Let's try this again. My hands were freezing down here working earlier. Hi, Anne-Marie. How are you? Thank you, guys, for stopping by. Okay, I'm just going to sit on this for a moment and make sure that it is going to catch. I don't know. I've really never had it do that, but like I said, well, it's not 82 here in Utah. I can tell you that right now. It's cooling down. It definitely is. Okay, as we're putting our pages on, I have to tell you, I'm a little bit, I wish I could share my screen with you because um, there is a litter of beagles here in Utah that came up on my screen and she's showing the puppies. And so, oh my goodness, my attention's kind of taken off to the side. I apologize. And she has two little girls to show me. I'm just dying here, okay? And I'm working and I'm watching that and I'm watching you guys. Um, the answer is yes. But Pamela, like I said, I wish I could share the way. Oh, I can. I could definitely share the screen with you guys. Um, let's see if we can do this. I don't. Oh wait, I don't know if I can. Oh, you guys, I can. I know I've got a station break here, interruption to our video, but I want you guys to see this. Look at her. I know I had to come on and show you guys, but you got to see her. Now watch. They're not ready yet, of course. Look at this. Can you see her, guys? Look at her. She's kind of, she looks a little quiet, doesn't she? But she's going after that hand. Thank you for letting me share that with you. Pretty cute, huh? What did you think? Her name will be Charlotte. Isn't she cute? Okay. I know, isn't she? They're adorable. There's a couple to choose from, but Wilbur has to have he has to have a girl, and the reason he has to have a girl is because he gets along better with let me just let her know. I there's two. Okay. Why do people do this when I'm supposed to be teaching? And I know your time is valuable too. No, no, no breeding. Okay, we're gonna match up our pages. No breeding. Wilbur is fixed. Wilbur's fixed. I needed to see the little puppy. Yes. But there's one more. There's a that she calls her Green Girl, and she's pretty cute too. Okay. Whoops. Yeah, my glue's not wanting to dry too fast. So when we get into this cold weather, as you know. Okay. Oops. Pages go in really slick. See this? And they're pretty even each time. And don't forget this, the seam, I put mine to the back. And it's kind of like no stress. You see how no, the Craftology boxes do not ship until the 10th. We are going to have them out early, Diane. They will go out before Saturday, so we will have them out early, but they always go out on the 10th. So if you mark your calendars, so October 10th, and then December 10th. But we do always try to get them out early. I just need to tell the girls something.
Are they leash?
The girls are seeing the puppies. At least the new puppy too will have a lot of babysitters. Yeah, the glue. Come on, glue. Okay, one more page. I don't think they're ready till November. And that, you know what? That will be 4 years since we brought Wilbur home. So the timing's good. They were born, I'm going to say about the same time Wilbur's birthday is. I will have to ask her. No, I don't have 5 dogs. That would give me 4. And we've got 2 that they're old. They're really old. And Wilbur really needs a little play friend. They were actually, guys, born September 11th. I'm looking for one. I did find some, Trisha. I did find some, and I just showed everybody the video that the owner just sent me this video, and I'm like, oh, I had to show you guys, and I keep watching it over and over. Okay. See how nice and easy your pages go in, even when you're talking, okay? Now I'm just going to go back, make sure everything's down. Then I'm going to put my flaps on for those of you who missed it, but everything's ready to go. And oh yeah, another beagle, yes. So again, that will open. We'll have our little flap put on there. And again, just staying to the inside here of your hinge. You don't want it to, get in the way of the hinge folding back and forth. I can share it one more time, Tricia. I know everybody is working with me, so let's just take another sneak peek. This is they call her right now Green Girl because she's got a green collar on. Can you see that, Tricia? Okay, and my second one. So that's what, that's kind of what I'm looking at. He needs a friend. Okay. And this one seems just a little bit long. Oh yeah, they're not ready yet. Well, let's try this again. Well, we've got Wilbur, Tricia, so we've got to have a Charlotte. Charlotte and Wilbur. Yeah, we have to have a Charlotte and Wilbur. Oh, okay, that's much better. Hi, Connie. Glad you made it. Okay, I think I'll check this first. I thought I had these all checked. You might have to go back in, especially after yesterday, Tricia. I mean, Connie, and redo your to get notifications. And I don't even know if that button exists anymore. Has anybody checked? But I know I had to redo our swaps for Country Craft Creations. We have our swap group because, yes, this one is the 7 by 7.5 inch page. And then I scored 1/2 inch. That's the same ones we went through in video 1. So all those scorings, I apologize, were in video 1. And all the pages, because they're all just 7 by 7 and then 7 by 7.5. And the cutting guide is on the first video for everything. But I will pay more attention here and give you the sizes with the flaps. So I'll check that, Connie, because I'm curious too now if we still have our notifications. Okay, now this isn't so important where I'm not matting that I don't add this flap. So I won't be adding this on each one of them as I'm putting on the new flaps. I will do it later, but you need to go back to video 1 and you'll see where I did add the flap where I made it square, which was a lot easier than the circle, and I show that in the video. And these aren't, see, it's a little cattywampus. They can be a little off, but go ahead and go to video 1 and you'll see that. So like I said, I'm not worried because that can actually be added anytime before the matting, and we're not doing any matting. I didn't really have a withdrawal from Facebook. I was actually so happy when Facebook went down yesterday. I was like, I got so much work done. Okay, inside front cover. So I'll refer to the book as we go. This is where I changed it from the original. The original has this on the outside cover. I'm putting this on the inside. And there is a large magnet. Anywhere that I use a magnet, I will let you know as we're going, but I won't be putting them down per se. Now, you can also use seam binding or ribbon if you'd prefer to attach to tie these closed. And if you are going to do that, you'll definitely want to do it before this is put in the book. So I did cut this piece is 7.5 by 7.5, but I actually took a 1/16 of an inch off of the side that's going to be up and down for my book cover, because I don't like anything to hang over, and I like to make sure it fits in there nice and neat. So with that, so it's set. I don't like to give you guys 16ths. Just cut that hair off at the top. I'm going to score at 1/2 inch. And that is not on the cutting guide. That is that inside flap that I did leave off. So it's 7.5 by 7.5. But then I did take off that 1/16 of an inch. And your next piece is a 7.5 by 4.5. But again, the 7.5, I took that 1/16 inch off so that these two were the exact same size. But it was really easy because on your 12 by 12 piece of cardstock, what you did was cut one and you had this left over. Just trimmed it down. And on the 4.5 at the top, we are going to score that at 1/2 inch. And that's all to those two flaps. And I did use my corner rounder on just about everything for this album. Oh, you just now got the notification? Well, it's a little bit late, isn't it? Because you're already here. Grab our scissors. Miter the corners so they'll sit under the matting and not show. Just need to make a little bit of room here. So I'm going to put the bigger flap to the left. I am using the 10 millimeter on everything. I use the 10. I love the 10. Oh, let's clean that up first. then, excuse me. Right now, Sally is in Disneyland or Disney World. You do have that page that wants to close, so you got to make sure you stay on the left of that. Jan, I have everybody's email list actually in the store. So I did send out a text, but you know what? What was I thinking? I could have sent out an email. Hi, Tiffany. And I do have all your emails in an email database. As you know, it's with the store. I really try not to spam you guys, not really spam, to send a lot of emails. But I should have sent one out yesterday to let you know everybody's doing well. We're all fine. Okay, now when that closes, what I did, remember, I did use the 8x8. So my graphics are a little bit smaller when I brought down the 8x8. And I used 2 sheets because I needed to get, see the 2, this repeated. But I had to have these. Oh, I just love it. So with your 12x12, you should be able to get both pieces. And everything, okay, this is on the website, but we are printing again. This is the 4th printing. And, but we had to print it again. I love it. I love the feel of this paper. So there is a list on Scrapbookers of Country Craft Creations that Tanya has put together that explain that she puts all the my colors cardstock that matches our collections. So inside here, then I would put a magnet here and a magnet here. Okay. And that will help. If you don't want to use a magnet, then you need to put your ribbon underneath your hinges there. Here, it will be, oh, the center came popping out of my flower. Hi, Rhonda. Okay, here it's going to be the same thing, and I'll remember to show you this time. If you want ribbon, you're going to place it underneath when we create. Oh, no, it will be, oh, you'll put it underneath the pattern paper and underneath this hinge so it ties. I did use a magnet, and this one opens and folds down. So this is going to be the first piece on your cutting guide, and it is page 1, and it's the front, and it's 5 inches by 10.5. So one reason I pared down the size of this little of the album was so that we could utilize all these 5-inch scraps. You had a ton of them, as you noticed. So this one's 5 by 10.5. This one is 4.5 by 5.5. This bottom flap. And I just needed to recheck my score marks so I don't mess that up with you guys. So here I have my, let me take those off. 5 by 10.5. And then my 5.5 by 4.5. Again, utilizing all those 5 and 5.5 inch pieces. And we're going to score this at 1/2 and 4. Oh no, don't score 4. So 1/2, and then you have to turn it around and score it at 3.5. Sorry. Five and a half across the 4.5, 5.5 across the top. We're going to score it 1/2. Thank you, Cynthia. I do too. I'm really happy with the 2 Halloween collections, and I've been having so much fun with them. I just can't wait to play with them even more. So I am going to round the corner, which is the 3.5 inch side, and we're going to fold that one in. And that 1/2 inch back, because we're going to attach that. So it's going to attach to the page. It opens. So here's what you want to do. If you're going to add a ribbon closure instead of a magnet closure, then I would somewhat measure your center, add your score tape, and add your seam binding right there. So when it's closed, it'll come over the front. Well, she's only 4 weeks old. She was just born September 11th, so we wouldn't get her until November, and that's about the same time because Wilbur was born September 20. Was it 24th or 26th? September 24th, and so he's a September baby, and she's a September baby. I don't know 100% though, you know, if there, I have to talk to her when I get off the video here. Haven't totally broken the news to my husband yet. He knows it's coming though. I'm going to put this first one down now. If you're going to do your ribbon, whoops, it'll go here. It'll come across the top. Then your second piece of ribbon would go underneath the pattern paper. Yeah. And this will sit right at the bottom. Now remember, goodness, remember you have this, okay? This will sit to the left. Make it even with the bottom. And that's your flap that comes out and that way. And that will give you some, not only great journaling area, just more for pictures. Then my other flap, I can open that so we don't get glue on the back side, will sit here. And then I'll show you where I place the magnets in case you want to use magnets. Well, that isn't really true, Tommy, but there's things he gets that I'm not super thrilled with. It's called compromise. We compromise, right? Okay, I'm gonna hold that page open. Like I said, if you're going to use magnets, it does take quite a bit of magnets. That's why you might want to use some seam binding and some ties in different areas. Save your magnets to hold down your page. Now, with the magnet, what I did, don't forget your matting. Just measure and then cut it 1/8 of an inch shorter on the two sides. So my magnet is actually right there. So the flap comes down with the large magnet and we'll hold it. And then it's underneath this flap. Yes, Diane, she is. And your large magnets will hold it. So I put a magnet first here. I close the flap. And I'll put my, let me show you on this one so you know what I'm talking about. Okay, first magnet is going to go right about there. I'm going to take the top off, set it right there. Now when the flap closes, it'll grab it. And that is the front of there. So the back of page 2. Oh, and you know what? I will come back on after the retreat then and show you how to do your swing tabs, or on Sandy Trefker's one of her last videos, she shows you guys how to do a swing tab. That will be the exact same way, but it's totally up to you. I can show you that when I come back on the 21st. So we have the 2 flaps. When you do close that, you got to move your, and this is from the cut aparts from the 8x8 sheet. So the first thing you have is a 6, you have, whoops, yeah, actually on this one, you have 2 6x7s. So let me close this, or you can just use a magnet. Now the nice thing with the 2 6x7s, so I just took one cardstock, cut it at 7, cut it at 7 length, and then just cut them both in 6, and you'll get 2 with your 12-inch piece of paper. And then super simple, we're just going to score both of these with the 6 across the top at 1/2 inch. One will go to the left and one will go to the right. And let's go ahead and round our corners, or you can leave them square, or you can do decorative. It looked really cool. I don't have it. I used to have a spider web, and I don't know, it's been a lot of years what I did with it, but that would have looked really cool with this. So I'm just going to go ahead and get my corners all mitered. Get everything cleaned up so it doesn't get caught in the glue. And hey Sheila, how you doing? And super simple. One to the left and one to the right. Again, when you cut these 7 inches, and I forgot, I'm going to cut them just a hair off so that they don't stick over my page. Maybe I already did. Let's try this one. No, I don't think I did. I always try to do it. And I'm going to do this over the garbage. Oh, don't tell me it messed up my corner. It did. We messed up the corner just a little bit. There. So I think you got to be careful and hold it really, hold it in there still. So hi, Kathy. Yeah, I mean, hi, Karen. Yeah, I think we did all survive that little outage. Kind of good for us. So one to the left, and then I'll do one to the right. Again, you have your hinge and the base of the page, so don't go too far over. Well, don't go over at all, actually. Just stay at the edge there of where your page ends, is where that should sit. And I feel like things are starting to warm up a little bit, so my glue is actually definitely catching better. So remember, it's really, hi, well, thank you, Suzette. It's really starting to cool down in some parts. So if it is, and you're like me and your basement's cold, where my studio is, I need to start taking my glue up. Okay, so these are those two flaps that you just saw. And then I have the swing tab here. Again, we can do that together on the 21st. And or you can use a magnet. You don't have to have the swing tab, but I just thought I love it. And that's where I used the Doodle Bug bread. Okay. Now let's put this over here. So it's, oh, our next one, front of page 2. Is the flap. And we are going to create that. Oh, and inside, I want to show you something on the inside. Excuse me. These are easier to put down after you do mat them. So I will create these. These are on the inside. It's just a waterfall top and bottom. And I will put my bottom one on, and then you'll see you just put the top on, measure between those two flaps, and that will be your paper size. So I did put those in there. So I'll put those to the side. We'll do those right after we do, excuse me, the front of page 2. You know, I didn't take my Zyrtec this morning, and I really should have taken my Zyrtec. So my next one is a 3x7. And that's not a 3x7. Let me cut a 3x7. I must have missed that one. Wait a minute, that is not a 3x7. There is no way. Huh. You know what I did? Oh, here we go. Front of page 2, 5x10. Well, totally. But look at all the 5s you got left over. So I'm going to cut my 5x10. And I think it is already 5. Yep. So one 5x10. And you know what? I have to tell you guys, Tanya is actually writing down all these score lines for us. So they're going to be available after on Scrapbookers of Country Craft Creations. And you will have all the score lines. Yes. Oh, yeah. For the planner that we're going to do, you're going to have all of these left over from this project. You'll have one more. And this is what I'm using to make our Christmas planner with, so that we're not wasting it, because we don't want to waste it, right? It's too good to waste. 1/2, 4, and 7 is going to be our score marks. And here comes Wilbur. Did you have dinner? Yeah, he did. Well, thank you. So we're going to score it 1/2 with 10 across the top. And then you're going to score it 4, and you're going to score it 7. And one thing you're going to see when you do fold this, these are not perfectly, see, you've got a space here. And that's for a reason. I wanted this one bigger. And a lot of times it makes it nice if the gift recipient, if you're giving this as a gift, if they see that there's a separation there, then they know. Have you ever gone back through your own albums and you're like, you forget that it opens? Because anyway, that's why I did that. I left that 1/2 inch gap. And then also because I wanted it to sit on my page. So again, that was with the magnet. You do not have to make it sit up on your page like that. You can definitely just leave that off and have it as a pull-out. But you will want, again, like I showed you, the string that comes around. And this one's a little trickier because you really don't have anywhere to put it unless you brought it from the top or you cut a hole in your paper. So this one's kind of hard to get away with not having a magnet on. So we're going to first score it this way. Then I'm just going to squirt it backwards. I always do that. That's at the top. It's still wrong. There we go. This is going to be under the page. So it sits like this. And then see how that comes back. So let me show you without confusing you. I'm going to hold down my hinge. So your hinge is here. Then you go back. And you go up. This is going to fold over. Okay. Again, top, folds over, folds over. You're going to think, oh my gosh, something's wrong, but it's not. It folds back over. Okay. Did everybody get that? I know it can throw you off because we don't usually have that folding over, but see how it matches there? And that's what's going to be glued down to this flap. So too, if you're working and if you need to have something there, coffee cup just about hit the ground. You can put like the white there. That comes next, Lisa. So I'm just going to open this. I never put the magnet on until the flap is in my book. Because if you do, it's going to be 99% not in the right place. Okay. That will fold. Okay, now where does the magnet go? Sorry, and I've also got something in my eye. Tomorrow morning, it definitely is. Oh, allergy pill time. My first magnet is actually, gosh, I got some in the center. Okay, it's in the center because, wait a minute, I used one. Oh no, it's in the center. Then this will grab this magnet. But it just kind of naturally sits there. I hope that makes sense. So we have one right there, one right there, and then it pulls it shut. And open this back. Yours too? Yeah, my my eyes and everything just itch. Okay, my first one's there, and I'm just gonna take this off. Oh, you know, that happens sometimes. Let me show you. needs to go this way. Wait a minute, oh no, hold on. No, this is the one I had to take. You're going to have to take if you're using the basic gray. If you're using the ones that already have the sticky on there, I forgot. Let me just... Okay, one thing you can do, and you may not like to do, you can either take that sticky side off, and this is why I sometimes have extra magnets. Yeah, you have to take 2 of the same polarities that are marked if you want to use the glue. And I have a lot of these that are kind of single that way because I use them and then I keep them as my, there we go, my odd ones basically. So there, right there, and then when this comes up, what happens is it makes just kind of a little lip there for your page to sit, and as there's paper on there, it makes it heavier and it will grab it. And on your page, it will just sit because it kind of grabs there. Okay, inside of our album, you have 4 3x7s. And this little top and bottom waterfalls, and we are going to score these on the 3-inch side. Hi, RJ, at 1/2 inch. I did round the corners. Again, cut them. Let's make sure I did. Yeah, no, I didn't. I'm sorry, guys. I got to cut them just a hair short of the 7. Only thing, crocodiles can be nice because they'll go through all of this, but you know, after a while, mine jumps and I don't get quite the neat corners that I once did. So that's why I've kind of gone to that. So we're going to have 2 at the top. You know, I can put all 4 of mine in because I'm okay with matting it if it's not flat. These aren't really hard to mat. This is the only page that has a major element like this. I had put it in the original book as I was going along and realized, you know, that's pretty thick. And if I add any matting to my photos on the inside, it's going to be way too thick. That's why it's the only one that has an element like this in there, but I chose to keep it because I really liked it. And I love my little camera that does the 2x3 photos. And it will fit on here. So just like a waterfall, to the outside edge of that flap, sure it closes. Oh, I hope you guys didn't. I forgot. I did not mean to do this. I did not mean to miter my corners, but I will put a strip there still. If you did like I did and mitered your corners, it'll still be okay. But, oh, I did on this one too, and then I covered it. But you don't have to miter those corners. It was an oops. Now, where this one ends, see your next one starts. Just make sure it's straight. And then I'm not going to put that down because I'm actually going to trim that just a little, these a little bit more. It's not a, oh, it's not bad when it closes at all. Let's see. I'll burnish it down a little bit more. Oh, no, they're fine. So I will put it down. I thought they were hitting, but they're not. Now, one reason I really like glue, I have that few minutes, but if it wasn't straight, I could rip it right off, but we look like it's good. That corner. And I'll turn my book upside down and repeat. I'm holding that. Close the blinds. It's dark. I'm just going to burnish that one again. And if you pretty much match it to the outside edge, it's going to be okay. Hi, Donis. Okay. Now, I'm going to burnish everything back down. The only difference when you're matting, I came to the bottom here, and then I added 2 strips, but you don't have to do that. Added a strip here and added, oh no, I did not add, I only added the 1 strip. I brought the cardstock all the way up to there instead of adding. So just measure from here to there and then take off 1/8 of an inch and then side to side for your matting. And then that's just the 1 sheet there. We don't need the contrast anymore. And when I put my closure on like this, it will hold that page together. Okay, let's do the back. Oh my gosh, you guys, Wilbur is over here sitting on his sister. So we have the 2 top flaps. We have a bottom flap. Just nice for those extra pictures. Waterfall, magnet went here and on the base page. Again, underneath the top waterfall and down on this flap, you could add your seam binding or ribbon and have a tie closure. And we want 3 pieces for this. So for the back of page 2, we have two 4 by 5.5 and one 6 by 7. Just cut the 7 down a hair. We're just going to score all 3 of these at 1/2 inch. 6 inch across the top, we'll score at half. And the 2 that are 4 by 5.5 that are our little top waterfalls, 4 inches across the top of your scoreboard, and you'll score those at 1/2. So all score lines are 1/2 inch unless different, just in case I forget. Well, Wilbur is a lap dog. Wilbur's not very big. He's not a very big beagle at all. But a Mastiff, they're pretty good size. Okay, let's round our corners if you're doing that. A Mastiff is too big for me. I've always had big dogs. Now on these 2, I don't need to mire the corners. I will on this one. Are you just are you doing a oh, goodness, are you just taking care of it for a while, or are you keeping this one? Oh, come on, what's the word for that, everybody? When you are just a foster, are you doing a foster mommy? So 6 by 7 is going down here at the bottom. And now I can't foster because I wouldn't want to I couldn't part with him. That's the problem. I don't make a good foster because they end up just staying. So these 2 guys are going at the top. I need to turn this upside down and make sure we're just at the top, very top. It's right across the top. Now, if you want to find the center, you definitely can. I am just going to eyeball my center. You know, I have Journey. She's over 70 pounds. And again, the second one. And I did go all the way across with the cardstock. This was from this is from the front of your cardstock. Oh my gosh, the cover sheet. So I just cut the little strips from our paper pieces that we put in there to show the different paper lines. I can't think of nothing tonight. Sorry. Anyway, the strips are 3/8 of an inch. And they are 3/8 of an inch by 6 7/8. And then I just matted this accordingly. Again, just matching where that 1/2 inch ended. Oh, so does Journey, Trisha, even though she used to jump in my lap all the time on the couch. She just can't get up there no more. And Wilbur's a little protective now. No, he's a little selfish. Okay. Again, if you're going to use a magnet, I went on that first flap. Open this and let the magnet grab, because you'll put one on your base page if you want. Otherwise, you can use string. I do want the magnet because I'm just going to use up this package. Oops. So, my first one there. And close that. Sometimes it'll pop. Okay, go slow because it might pop. Okay. Oh, I don't know if that's considered failed. I think that's a foster to adopt. Now, this is the one. This will actually grab there. But I do have the 2 brads. I had my string and I pulled too tight and it broke. So I do have a word of caution. I have in the store, they're very thin. I do love it, but it doesn't do good for closures. So I'm going to redo this anyway, my string. But I'm going to do it on camera and show you, because I actually take the string down through the hole. So we'll do that on the 21st. This will how you'll get your album put together. So we have just these 2 little flaps. And that, let's see, we're on the front of page 3. And we have, let me open this really quick. For some reason, I don't know why, I have 1 7 by 7.5. Tanya, don't add that to the cutting guide. She's actually going to have this up for you. That was this, and we've already cut these. So if you've got this cutting guide and printed it off, just erase that. All you need is the 2. So we don't need that one. We just need these 2 that are 3 3/4 by 6. Okay. 2 3 3/4 by 6. And with the 3 3/4 at the top, we're going to score it at 1/2 inch. And then just put that other 7 by 7.5 to the side. You'll use it, especially if you're going to be creating the Christmas planner with me on the 28th of October. And I'm going to use up all these scraps with you. So one goes to the left and one goes to the right. I'm just doing it at the bottom. Because at the top, we don't need to. So again, I'm going to cut this little guy in half. Don't need the whole thing. So one will sit here to the left-hand side. Oh, you know what, Lisa? I love the puppies, but I love the adult dogs. I mean, the puppies are, yes, they're very cute, but Wilbur's still a puppy to me, even though he's 4. Just match into the bottom. Whoops, a little bit slippery there. 11. Not to foster Donis, or did you? Was it a? It must have been a litter that was abandoned. Oh, that'd be, yeah, that'd be crazy. So here's your 2 flaps. We'll have the 2 brads, and we'll also do those on the 21st. Okay, like I said, there is a full walkthrough, so you'll be able to go through the matting. And the back is this flap and this. So again, I did do a magnet. And this, if you don't want to do anything, it will actually sit here just fine. And I'm not going to do a magnet or anything this time because I found even without the magnet, it set just fine on another one I did. So this is the back of page 3. You want a 5x7 and a 4x6.5. Okay, 5x7. We're going to score with the 7 across the top at 1/2 inch. And then the 4x6.5 with the 6.5 at the top, we will score at 7. So it's going to sit this way. And then I just left about a 1/4 inch to the left, and that's where I set the top flap. So you want to have this this first one at the bottom on your 5x7. So I'm going to cut that outside edge. This one I don't need to really worry about mitering any of it. And around my corners. And it is because of the rounded corners is why I came in that 1/4 inch. It's actually more than a 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch. Oh, hold on. I screwed this one up. So we're going to do it different. Well, we were supposed to score on that side. Oops. So it's okay. I'm just going to do mine different on this one. So, sorry. You actually should have scored 5 inch across the top at 1/2 inch. So, if you want to redo this, you do have a lot of scraps. I'm going to go ahead and leave it. So it's going to fold down and up instead of over and up. That's what happens sometimes. And actually, that's how we change our design sometimes. So I'm going to place that there. I don't know what made me do that. I am so sorry. So you can do it one of 2 ways. I'm just showing you. This is the variation. Now, if you did it the way I did it in the original book, it will go this way. Okay. But now this one won't. And I'm actually going to bring it in a 1/2 inch to match this 1/2 inch, and it'll fold down and up. That's because I've had a lot of practice, Chris. Trust me, a lot of practice. So I'm going to come in. I can see basically where the 1/2 inch is. See my 1/2 inch hinge? So I'm just going to set it to the inside of there. Now I will use a magnet because I don't have the weight of the fold over. That's okay too. Uh-oh. Well, I will. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe we have Nope, all my, sometimes in different packages you're, okay, they won't. They're all my negatives, so I'm not going to worry about it, but I would put one magnet right here. Okay. Grab the other one here, close it, and then you would have your magnets. Because, you know, Jerry, it's so easy to fix. Okay, we are now on the front of page 4. We are getting there. Page 4, it's a flap and our 2 little flaps. The whole idea about this was, and I didn't have, I still have to add it for my 12 by 12 paper. This will fit your 3 by 4 cut aparts. I was using 8 by 8, and so I didn't have them. So the original one, which is also bigger, see, it holds my 3 by 4s from this. This is really old. This is back when October Afternoon was around. Oh, remember I said you were going to keep all those 5 inches because we're going to be making the holiday planner with the 5-inch pieces. Okay, so let's create that. We need our flap, 6 by 7, and the 2 3 3/4 by 4 3/4, and I did it again. You don't need that 7 by 7.5. Oh my goodness, I didn't realize I did that, and I don't want you guys. I had put the flap down on each page. I'm so sorry. You'll have those extras if you did cut them. A lot of us pre-cut them. I'm sorry, you don't need them. I mean, you're going to use them. They're not going to go to waste, of course. I did use a magnet. Six by 7 with the 6 across the top at 1/2 inch. 4 3/4 across the top. We're going to score at 1/2 inch. And the reason it's 4 3/4 because it makes it just big enough to fit that 4 by 3 on there. And I did round off my corners. And you're going to want to put down the big flap first. We have to put down the big flap, then we put the 2 small flaps. You can kind of see that to the left. Oh, I know, it is hard. So I'm just cutting the outside edges. One will be on the left and one will be on the right, just so that the edge of the paper will be hidden underneath there. Okay. In our book, the big one goes down first. Always come to this outside edge so that you always leave room where your hinge is. Burnish this really well. Now, I know, doesn't it score just like butter? Yes. Okay, Lisa, and I was talking to the paper mail. One thing that's really important, you guys, that I was never told before, when you get your artisan cardstock, keep it either in a plastic container or keep it in the paper we send, the acrylic sleeves. It needs to be kept in the paper sealed. I always set mine out just on my shelf. Well, I'm not going to anymore because in the winter, it depends. Like in Utah, we're so dry. This needs to stay in the acrylic bags that we ship it in, or you can put it in one of your plastic bags, or you can have humidity down in your craft room, because the black especially is the one that dries out a little bit, and you'll get some cracking during the winter. So keep it sealed and keep it also in the bags we send it. Okay, these two guys. Uh-oh, what happened? I cut them too wide. I poured them on the wrong side. Let's do some measuring here. 4 3/4. Oh, by 3 1/4. Okay, we've got a boo-boo here. 3 1/4. Oh, you know what? I cut my paper wrong. The cutting guide is right. It says 3 1/4 by 4 3/4. I didn't cut mine right. Okay. 3 1/4. I should have known that because the cards are 3 by 4, right? We only need 3 1/4 for that extra on the sides. So, don't know why I did that, but that's an easy fix. 3 1/4 by 4 3/4. We did score it on the correct side at 1/2 inch. There we go. Much better fit. Okay, I'm just going a hair above that score line and just a hair on the inside. There's about 1/8 of an inch, I would say, so that this will hold. We'll have to reburnish it. Oh yes, it's much easier to cut off than to add. And the cutting guide is right. I just didn't cut my papers right. Okay, this one will sit closer to the left outside edge, so we have that space there. Definitely do not want glue under there. And I'm going to match. And you've got your little flaps ready for your cut apart. And I'm going to show you something else too. Little idea. So if you're going along, and which you already know I don't have magnets, my magnet would sit here, and then I would sit it just right above these flaps. If you have some of these little clips, they're so cute and they're so fun to decorate. You can do all kinds of fibers and things off the side. And yes, I'm sorry about the tape noise. Anyway, that can be your closure for this. Now, I absolutely love these because if you wanted, and you don't want to use the closures on the top, like I showed you on video one, definitely get yourself some of these little cute clips. I don't carry them in the store, but you can get them at Dollar Tree even. But look how cute. that could be the closure. You don't have to use magnets because I know sometimes they're not as easy to find. And hold on 1 second. This can also be, and they're so fun. I showed you guys how I did it with um, ribbon and twine. We did it on a Graphic 45 album. I'm looking at it. It was the farmhouse one. And it can go here and it can go here. Well, Donis, we got to get the craftology boxes out. We've got the retreat kids. Yeah, today the girls are working a little bit late. They don't usually work this late. So be inventive. You can definitely use some different things there. So there is our cute little flips. And the inside is just the two 8x8 papers. I chose the spiders and the witches and the goblins and the ghost. The back, we've got these two flaps. This is where I did do the string tie because I realized this was just a lot of magnets, and it just goes underneath your cardstock. So we're going to create those two flaps. Then we're going to do our belly band, and we're done. Cool, huh? Put those away. I can't believe I did that. Okay, so we have two flaps for this one. And it looks like I cut one. I did really good. Okay, the back of page 4 has two flaps that are 3 3/4. No, I'm telling you guys 3 3/4, and it's not. It's 3 1/4, and it is on the cutting guide. It's 3 1/4. So let me fix mine, and it's 3 1/4 by 7. You need 2 of those. Okay. All right, I'm all straight now, I think. And don't forget, if you guys have picked one of these up, I showed you before, it's so cool for cleaning all this up. I'm not sponsoring for them or anything. I just love that little Bissell vacuum. So we're going to score with the 7-inch side at 1/2 inch. And then I do want to miter the corners. Not miter the corners. Well, I will miter corners. But I want to round my corners. And let's burnish the score lines. And I just need to miter the top of that one and the bottom of this one. Well, the cutting guide only needs to have that 7 and 7.5 off. It was only, yeah, I messed up on cutting my stuff, which then I don't feel bad because then I didn't have you guys make a mistake, right? Okay, one at the bottom, one at the top. Thank you, Tanya. She'll have a fixed cutting guide for us all on Scrapbookers of Country Craft Creations on Facebook so that you'll have it, because I'll tell you what, this is a cute one for mini albums to make for well, yeah, even you could do it for weddings, but I would definitely for a baby or a birthday. And it was originally for Christmas. Okay, at the top. And don't forget, we've already done our December daily. We do those in January. So If you haven't made a December daily for 2021, make sure you find the videos here on YouTube, because we're all ready to go when December hits. Said I was out of black cardstock. Oh heavens, no, I'm not out of black cardstock. Let me check that. It sure does say we're out. Okay, I'm fixing it right now as we're. No, we're not out of black. And that is all fixed. Okay, black cardstock is fixed, guys. Front of page 5. No. And you know what I did? I put mine on the inside. So guess what? My little album's going to have them in here. And then it will have it back here on the back of the page where it belongs. So instead of being plain, I have those inside. Okay, so now mine looks bare, but I'll put another set on them. That works. This page is page 5. And for page 5, we have a belly band with these flaps. What I did here is I use seam binding, kind of crinkled it. It goes underneath your pattern paper. Okay, so it kind of looks, you know, like it just looks a little more fancier for a belly band. What would be cute too is if you did the weaving, you know, poke your holes. That'd be cute for that belly band. Anyway, we're gonna have 3 pieces. And for the belly band, we need an 8 by 3 inch piece. And then we need 2 pieces that are 3 by 3 3/4 long. So you do want to make sure that they're going to fit with the width. We want to go ahead and score our belly band on both sides at 1/2 inch. And before I score those, I want to check to make sure if it's page, but I did something a little different. I want to show it to you. I don't know if I'll need to on this page. What happened was, same thing here. I don't know why. Page is 7, this is 8, right? So I put the belly band down here, and then it just fit better when I wrapped it to the back side. And there's a reason I really went with this. I'll show you in a second. It fit really well, and then I found that I attached this left-hand side, and I actually let this loose till after I matted, and then I wrapped it around. So I'm going to do the same thing. Jerry, every time I make a mini album, I teach myself something new because we always have to do it differently than what I originally plan out doing, right? So I'm going to attach this 1/2 inch to the left-hand side. For me, it's really hard to get that with glue to get the paper down. And I don't always like to wrap the paper and then put it on. Sometimes it just, isn't the fit I want either. So when this happened, I'm like, I think I'm going to be doing this more often. Looks a mess because of the glue. So when you open it, see, this is going to wrap. So what I'm going to do is leave this just like so. Add my cardstock And then I will go ahead and close this to the back. And now we can go ahead and add these two little flaps right here. And I want to add a score line with the 3 3/4 across the top at 1/2 inch on both of them. Let's go ahead and miter these corners. Hi, Sharon. Grab our belly band. One will go to the left and one will go to the right. Now, you may have to, bye girls, thanks. You may have to kind of score this if it's a little too big. So I'm just going to wrap that around my page a little bit more. Get a better fit. Okay. And I left these square. I left them square. Okay, so I'll add one to the left and one to the right. And then you'll add your seam binding and then your pattern paper. Okay, so our pages are 7 by 7. And wherever we match, me and glue on black paper. Glue the bottom. Yeah, all that's in the first video. This is our second, so I show gluing it down. Yes. I'll get everything matted. I'll lift up my belly band, cut my 6 7/8 by 6 7/8 paper, which I used the back side of the pumpkins. And then after the paper is down, I'll add glue to this side before you do any matting in here. I will turn it over and glue it down, which is going to be so nice because you can mat it, put down your belly band, wrap it, and it's going to be so easy to mat. Much easier than trying to get that paper down there with all the glue on the back. I know Michelle Allen on our design team, I love it. She'll put the paper down and just lift it and glue and lift and glue. That works great too. I thought this was right up my alley. Okay, for the inside, again, you can go through the walkthrough for the matting. These are the 4x4s from the paper. So you cut out the 4x4. Then I just measure. It's going to depend on how you cut these. I measured my scraps in the white cardstock and filled in my spots. The back, we don't have anything. It's just matted. This is why you'll need 2 of the 8x8s if you do it this way, because I use the black and white check there and the gingham here, and because I love it. And so I left it and then just used some of the cut aparts so I can put a nice big Halloween photo there. Oh, and the same with the back. So I did not put anything but the pattern paper and then from your cut aparts. And that is, so that'll just be matted. That is our flips and flops in our Bewitching album. Thank you, Lisa. And what a fun album now. On the 28th, remember, next week is our retreat, so I won't be live. But on the 28th, I'll go back and we'll do the cover if you haven't, and I'll do a couple of things like the swing tab here, or you can watch Sandy Trifficker on our design team. She's already done that. And then also, the brads I did here, and I've got to change the string that I'm going to use though. Don't use the really skinny, it will not work. And I got this cool new little asset here in the center of my pages, right? I got to make one now for the backside. So that's our album. Be sure to go back through your walkthrough. And like I said, I used Masquerade on this one, but I might use the Midnight Ride on the next one, because I really do want to use this paper too. So I'll probably be using this. And right now, I do apologize. We were all out. The 21st and then the 28th, I'll be doing a different project. So on the 21st, because I will not be live next week other than at the retreat. The domes, they're totally sold out, even at Sizzix. I got to glue this back on. So I apologize. But I'll do the shaker. Flowers, charms are still available, and I go through everything I used in video 1. Thanks for joining me tonight, everybody. This went really good. We did that in less than 2 hours, and our flips and flaps are all on. And now I'll just clean up, and we'll do the cover, the rest of it on the 21st. Or if you have any, if you have any special requests that you want me to do that you need help with, we'll do that too on the 21st. And Tanya, when she's done, she'll have the fun cutting guide up for you, and she'll fix those couple of spots that I messed up. So thanks everybody, and good night.